What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Mount Olympus S&P. My name is Daniel House. I'm the owner, founder, and lead S&P artist over here at Mount Olympus S&P. And today, we're going to be talking about hair loss prevention and how to keep a healthy head. So guys, jumping straight into it, so you guys understand and know that hair loss can affect all of us, not just men. We have women that, suffer from alopecia, that have hair loss. Same thing with men, and typically most individuals start to lose their hair like in their mid to late 30s. But, you guys would be surprised. There's some individuals who experience hair loss early in their 20s. And unfortunately, men were all susceptible to it. A lot of people are unaware that there are certain ethnic groups that are a little bit more susceptible to hair loss than most other individuals. There are certain demographics of individuals that experience hair loss, every 1 in every 2 men. And there are individuals who are a little bit more susceptible to hair loss. Those contributing factors could be anything from, your diet, hereditary, and it could be any pre-existing conditions. So guys, don't beat yourself up about hair loss. There are different preventative techniques that we're gonna talk about today in this video that can actually help you to try to preserve as much hair as you can while you decide and determine if scalp micropigmentation, which we offer over here at Mount Olympus S&P, is a good fit for you. Like I tell most individuals, it's a good fit for some people, not a good fit for others, which is no different from a hair transplant. There are some people who are not great candidates for hair transplants. So with these videos, our goal is to help you navigate through, all the different options that are out there. And just because, we offer scalp micropigmentation, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to force this procedure on everyone that we come across. I believe in more of helping people just kind of navigate the space and then to see what fits best for you. But in this video, what I'm going to talk about is how to maintain a good head of healthy hair. First thing that I would say, number one, is early detection is key. Now, of course, everyone loses hair follicles, and it just depends on how many hair follicles you're losing every single day. All of us experience losing hair follicles, okay? So I would say early detection is key. Paying very close attention to your crown area, paying close attention to your hairline, paying close attention to after you wash your hair and you shampoo, do you notice you look into the shower, you see a lot of hair that's in the bottom of the shower. When you comb your hair, how much of your hair is actually falling out? These are all things that you guys should be paying attention to make sure that you're kind of staying on top of what's going on with your health. And so one of those things that, is easy to determine is just your density, right? The overall look of your head, how's the density? Do you look a little bit thinner in the center? You're noticing a little bit more at the crown. The crown's lightening up a little bit. So pay attention to the minute changes that you experience in the density of your hair, and that's very important. And people often wonder, like, how is it this individual's walking around with this crown thinning? He doesn't even know it. Sometimes the hair loss happens so gradually that some individuals don't even notice the change. It's just like watching your kids grow, right? Like if you have children, one day you wake up and you're like, how did you get to be so tall? It's because you see them every day. And it's the same thing with hair, man. Like, you might look up one day and be like, when did my crown get that thin? And it's because, you're not really paying attention to, all the different signs. So I would say, make sure you pay attention to the signs, because early detection is key. And when I say early detection, I mean because, you may be able to start getting on biotin, or some type of a multivitamin, depends on what type of shampoo you're using. In some instances, it could be the shampoo that you're using that may be a little bit too harsh for your hair. It may be stripping your hair down and damaging your hair. You may not be actually giving your hair the moisture that it needs, right? So there's a lot of different variables. If you're not aware of, your rate of hair loss, or you're damaging your hair, then over time that it could just potentially continue to make it progressively worse. So you're probably thinking, okay, that's obvious, but so what are some things that I could actually do to make sure that I'm addressing my hair loss? I just don't want to hear the fact of something crazy like, look at my density. You might want a little bit more actionable things you guys can do. So wait, I got you covered. Just don't give me a minute. I got you. So healthy lifestyle habits is going to be the number one thing that I think is going to help you guys out. Start exercising more. Get into the gym, have a more healthy lifestyle, eat more balanced meals, more nutrition, cut out the junk food. So it's important that you guys actually understand that, good nutrition is gonna go a lot longer than you would actually think, okay? You wanna cut out all of the fast food, all of the high processed sugars, okay? And you wanna focus on eating a nutrient-dense diet. And some of the vitamins that I recommend that you guys take that's gonna help you have a head of wonderful, luscious, healthy hair is gonna be vitamins A, C, D, E, and B vitamins. And it's also important to understand that you guys want to stay hydrated. You should be drinking at least a gallon of water a day, okay? And also with drinking a gallon of water a day, you want to make sure that you're replenishing electrolytes. There's a lot of people that think that, oh, I can just drink a ton of water and, I'm going to be fine with just staying hydrated with drinking a lot of water. And so, of course, yes, it is important to stay hydrated, but most people have the misconception. They think that I can just drink a gallon of water and I'm good. No, the most important thing is if you up your water intake, you also have to up your electrolytes. It's important that they both have to complement each other. That is proper hydration. If I'm drinking a gallon of water, I have to make sure that I'm taking my electrolytes with my water, which is why you see some people actually mix electrolytes in their water. So you want to make sure that you guys are hydrated, and that is going to help you guys to continue to give yourself a healthy head of hair with all of the vitamins that I've listed. And it's also important to make sure that the shampoos and the conditioners you're using, like I mentioned earlier, complement your hair type, okay? Because there's some shampoos and conditioners and things like that that are probably not advantageous for your hair type. So you want to make sure that you're not using a shampoo that's going to be stripping your hair of all the nutrients that you've worked so hard to gain. Another tidbit to understand is you want to keep your scalp healthy. A lot of people only fixate on, just healthy hair, taking the vitamins, staying hydrated. But if you're not taking care of your scalp, then what's the hair going to flow through? All right. So it's important to understand that scalp health is key. Okay. You guys want to make sure that you're also hydrating the scalp. You're making sure that you don't have scabs and you don't have dandruff buildup on your scalp, because that's where your hair has to transition through. So if you have, issues with scalp health, you're only damaging your hair growth, damaging your hair follicles, and that's not really beneficial or advantageous to you. Which importantly, when people come into, Mount Olympus for procedures, the first step that we always do is we exfoliate the top of the head, light massage on the scalp to, get the blood flowing to the scalp. And there are times we work with clients where their scalps are a little bit dry, and we try to tell individuals like, this could be something that's contributing to your hair loss because you're not actually keeping your scalp hydrated. You do not want your scalp to be dry. This is why conditioners, shampoos are important. And it's also important to not put too much oil on your head, okay? Because you can actually clog up the follicles, when you're putting a little bit too much oil on your head. So scalp health is very, very key and very important to a healthy head of hair. And with that being said, of course, these are just a couple of different tips that you guys can actually use to make sure you guys are having a healthy head of hair and you're not damaging your hair follicles by over oiling them, not taking your nutrients and vitamins, and not eating foods that are rich in vitamins. So recap, make sure you guys are drinking plenty of water with electrolytes. Make sure you guys are, protecting the health of your follicles by keeping your scalp clean, fresh, clear, and healthy, okay? These are just a couple of reminders. And of course, there are individuals out there, like I said, who may have health conditions that could also make you a little bit more susceptible to hair loss. And, there's many different options out there, right? There's hair transplants, there's things like that. You can take care from your donor sites and transition them over. That comes with, a good chunk of change that you would actually have to fork out, as well as a long, extensive time to heal, to get back on your feet, versus going the route of scalp micropigmentation like we offer here in Mount Olympus SMP. Getting SMP, once you leave our facility, you guys are gonna have a full, luscious, beautiful, wonderful look as soon as you walk out. There's no 6 months waiting for your hair to grow back and the bandages coming off. As soon as you leave here, the wonderful you that you've always envisioned for yourself shall be with you and embark on a wonderful day of getting all the compliments in the world. Just be careful not to ruin your marriage. There's all those young ladies chasing behind you, throwing their suggestives in your sunroof. Don't blame us. And with that being said, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you guys for actually watching this video. If you've made it this far, be sure to like the video and be sure to share with some friends you think could probably learn something from these tidbits, okay? So if you guys are in the Atlanta area or the surrounding states and you guys are willing to commute to Atlanta to get some scalp micropigmentation done, we would love to be your provider. You can come in for a free consultation. You can reach out to my team. We look forward to having you here with us in this wonderful establishment. With that being said, guys, that's all I have for you. Again, this is Daniel House from Mount Olympus SMP. If you guys are interested in potentially taking advantage of getting SMP, then we would love to have you guys here. Feel free to reach out to us, set up a consultation. You guys can come into the shop and we will look at your head, we'll assess it and tell you what we think would be a good fit for you and what we think that, what we think would be a good fit for you. And if you think that whatever we suggest for you might be something you're interested in, we'd love to have you. With that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in. And remember,